Have you ever felt trapped in your own thoughts? Your body is here, but your mind is stuck replaying past mistakes or worrying about tomorrow. The more you try to stop it, the louder it gets, until life feels heavy, not because of what's happening around you, but because of what's happening inside you. But what if the real change you need isn't outside, it's inside your mind? This is the story of a man who discovered the power of clearing his mind, and how that simple shift transformed his entire life. There was once a man named Rayan. On the outside, he had everything people thought mattered: a stable job, a roof over his head, and a family who loved him. But inside, his mind was in constant chaos. Every day, his head was filled with noise, regrets about the past, worries about the future, endless what-ifs. He replayed old mistakes over and over, while also imagining problems that hadn't even happened yet. By the end of each day, he was exhausted, not because of his work, but because of his thoughts. One evening, after another long day of stress, Rayan sat at his desk and admitted to himself, "I can't live like this anymore. My body is here, but my mind is never at peace." A week later, while walking home, he passed by a small park. There he saw an elderly gardener quietly watering plants. His face was calm, almost glowing with peace. Curious, Rayan asked, "How are you so calm? Don't you have worries?" The old man smiled and said, "I do. But I learned something long ago: if you want peace, you must learn to clear your mind. Worries will always come, but you don't have to give them a home." Rayan frowned. "Clear my mind? How do I do that?" The gardener pointed to a bucket filled with muddy water. "This bucket is your mind," he explained. "If you keep adding dirt, the water stays dirty. But if you stop adding more dirt and let it rest, the mud settles, and the water becomes clear again. Your thoughts are like that mud. Stop feeding them, and clarity will return." That night, Rayan decided to try. He sat quietly in his room, turned off his phone, and simply breathed. At first, it was uncomfortable. His mind screamed with thoughts: what if I fail tomorrow? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? He wanted to get up and distract himself, but he remembered the old man's words, "Let the mud settle." He kept breathing. Slowly, the thoughts became quieter. For the first time in years, Rayan felt a moment of stillness. It was small, but it was real. The next day, he tried again. He started with 5 minutes, then 10. Soon, clearing his mind became part of his daily routine. Instead of fighting every thought, he let them come and go, like clouds passing in the sky. Something began to change. At work, he noticed he could focus better. At home, he listened more patiently to his family. He no longer carried yesterday's problems into today. One evening, his little daughter hugged him and said, "Daddy, you smile more now." Those words hit Rayan deeply. His inner peace was not just healing him, it was touching the people around him. Months passed, and the man who once lived in chaos now lived with clarity. He still had challenges, but his mind was no longer his enemy. By learning to clear it, he had changed his life. And here's the lesson: your mind can be your prison, or it can be your freedom. If you fill it with clutter, fear, and endless noise, it will drain you. But if you learn to clear it, to let go of unnecessary worries, to breathe, to live in the present, everything changes. Clarity doesn't mean your problems disappear. It means you finally see them for what they are, without being drowned in fear. It means you face life with focus, with calm, and with strength. So if you feel trapped by your thoughts, remember the muddy bucket. Stop adding dirt. Let the mud settle. Clear your mind, and you may just discover a life you never thought possible. So remember this: your mind can be the heaviest burden, or it can be your greatest strength. When you learn to let go of unnecessary noise, when you clear the clutter of fear and doubt, life begins to feel lighter. Peace doesn't come from having a perfect life. It comes from having a clear mind in an imperfect one. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs calm today. And tell me in the comments, what helps you clear your mind when life feels heavy? Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories from Climb Diaries, stories that remind you that true change begins within.